there is a benefit to maintaining celibacy, but it should not be taken to the level that, okay, that is the final goal, that if I maintain celibacy, everything is going to fall in place. No, you are going to get complete nuts. You'll be crazy. There is a selective release and a selective celibacy that has to be combined together so that it works out. That is why our dharma, the Hindu dharma, says that there are 4 goals in the average person's life. Dharma is one of them, which is your sense of religion, righteousness, etc. Dharma, artha, which is your money that you earn or the prosperity. Kama, which is your lust and which is your desires, and etc. And finally, there is moksha. So if kama was something that you should be completely rejecting out of it, so if you without kama, there is no life in the first place. Okay. So it is there. It is the only thing that they're talking about basically fundamentally is that like water, to give a simple example, like water, and like if that proverbial Newton's apple flows downwards because the gravity is going to pull you down and things like that, water flows from higher and to lower, etc. So if you indulge unrestricted in sexual activity, it is more or less going to pull your powers, energies down, and you will feel a lack of, as I said, very simply speaking, kind of tiredness. Mantra sadhana, any kind of spiritual practice at the initial stages has to make you a little bit more alert, energetic, less sleepy. In fact, one of the things that if you do a practice, it is when you are sleeping, that is when you are most unguarded, by the way. Okay. Initial stages. So higher level yogis, actually, they try to transcend even sleep. Very high level. Again, these cannot be forced. So my viewpoint in celibacy is that do not even force it, but maintain a certain decorum and discipline in it. Don't run around everybody and everything that you feel like, having a relationship with. Not like that. Have a basic common sense idea of how much you can indulge and how much you do not. And this idea is, by the way, the way I'm describing it is not something very unique or something I have thought about. Our texts will tell you that for a married man to have a physical relationship with his wife is also celibacy. Nobody, not any point are we asking people that you leave everything and become a sannyasi.
Is there a specific text?
Oh, this is the general idea of celibacy. That if you are a married man in the Vedic system, why do you think the Vedic karma kanda rituals mandate that 90% of the rituals is barred for an individual who is not married? You cannot sit in a Vedic fire ritual, proper Vedic fire ritual, if you don't have legally married wife with you. You are barred from it. Doesn't matter how good your meditation is, how much yoga you can do, and etc., and how much brahmacharya you follow. You don't have a wife, you are not married, you cannot sit there.
Do some spiritual processes start only after marriage?
If you were to practice certain tantric upasanas, yes. But more or less, marriage is a very balancing thing, in my opinion. And it's helpful if your partner is also, of the spiritual bent of mind. I mean, obviously. But coming back,
what if she's not?
Then you're bad luck. Nothing much I can say about that. So coming back to the point, but it is not to say that I'm not, again, not to misconstrue what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that means that you have unrestricted, physical relationships. No, celibacy has its utility also. It builds up certain power during that limited phase of time when you are following it. So my recommendation to people who are actually in the path of any kind of spiritual practice is that, and I deal more with people who are into the worship of deities, the tantric, tantra sadhana, mantra sadhana, using mantras, tantras, the puja paddhati. So suppose you are into an anusthana of a deity. So you make a sankalpa or a promise to a deity for 10 days or 15 days or 21 days. So you follow a limited period of celibacy. During that time, the only reason is that when you follow celibacy and you do that practice, it helps building up power inside you. However, power is only useful if you have the capacity to digest it. If you don't digest it, one of the other things that happens, for example, you start doing a lot of mantra sadhana of any deity suddenly, okay, with no practice beforehand, you start 4 or 5 hours of mantra japa today. The first thing that you are going to see after some days is the tremendous increase in lust, tremendous increase in anger. These are the 2 leaks through which the power is going to get out of you, because your system simply does not have the capacity to absorb it. You can eat only that much food, as much as your stomach can digest. Other things are going to get vomited out. This is the spiritual vomiting that happens. You will end up having all sorts of, running around everybody, physical relationships unrestricted, and then anger unrestricted, these 2 things. The balancing, how much of a spiritual power a particular individual can take through the practice, and how much of a physical relationship or an anger, by the way, is equally dangerous. It just in a second, your power, whatever you have accumulated, is also going to go out. This is where the role of a mentor, a guru, is so important, because you will take a lot of time to figure out that what is it that works for you. A good mentor, a good guru who can handhold you. And I'm not saying, and I don't mean that, there are many organizations where you go and there are 1,000 people getting an initiation, and then after that for 10 years you have no clue where your guru is and where you are sitting at home and doing practice. No, I mean somebody who actually handholds and guides you step by step, sort of, at least, and tells you that what to do and what not to do. So there is no idea like this initially, and it should not even be encouraged that right now from this age become completely celibate, forget everything, and it is going to make you some spiritual superstar. Nothing of that sort is going to happen.